Washington Commanders. Dan Quinn has just ruled Jaden Daniels out this week, Colin. Scary Terry McLaurin out this week. And wouldn't you know it, Marcus Mariota will face his old team, the Falcons, who are now favored against Washington. Listen, I tried to tell you earlier this week, Falcons were +3, then it was 2, then it was 1.5. Now the Falcons are favored at home. Do you want to readjust your Blazing 5?
No, I've had no historic success. This is the number one stay away from it game on the board. Texans Titans is another stay away from it. I don't like either of them. I think the bigger issue is Jaden Daniels got banged up last year. Jaden Daniels is banged up this year. It was the number one concern coming into the NFL that he was spindly, he was small. Could he withstand the punishment and the hits? So, you know, if your quarterback's the $10 million chandelier, the insurance policy is the O-line. So they got to get good up front because he is all-time special, but this is now the second injury.
Yeah. I'm bummed that we don't get to see a rematch between Michael Penn and Jaden Daniels. But listen, Atlanta Falcons. You are going up against a backup quarterback now who's pretty good. He's pretty good, but a backup quarterback and missing their number one weapon, their number one receiver, their most reliable. I know they got Debo now, but Terry McLaurin is rooted a Washington Commander. Losing this game, you lose this game, I think there would be a great argument to just fire everyone. Now, to be fair, I'm a believer in the Washington Commanders. I'm a huge believer of Jaden Daniels, Cliff Kingsbury, Dan Quinn, etc., etc. But this Atlanta Falcons team should be too good to not be able to make a team pay for not having their quarterback one. Okay, their QB1, their starting quarterback, and their starting wide receiver. If the Falcons are not good enough to do that, then you're not good enough for anything. If this defense can't find a way to disrupt the Washington Commanders' offense, then you are not doing anything productive from a coaching perspective for this team. And if you want to say, well, then the roster is not going to fire everyone, then fire everyone. And now offensively for the Falcons, if you can't find a way to take advantage to get to outscore a backup quarterback without his wide receiver one, where now you're just going to have a backup quarterback with Debo, and that's pretty much it. You have Zach Hurt Z a little bit and stuff, and you know, somewhat of a running game because even their running back was injured as well. At an O-line that's just hasn't been very successful so far this season because of some of the moves that they've made. If you can outperform that, outplay that, then I don't know. I don't know where the hope is. I don't know where the belief is. You're also at home. You're at home. This should be a get-right game. This should be, this is what we've been waiting to see here. This is what we've been waiting to see here. This defense should make Mariota look like what we saw with J.J. McCarthy. Although this offense should look a lot better. A lot better. You didn't really run the ball enough in week 1, and you're like, what do we do? What do we do? Then week 2, you're like, all right, let's run the ball a lot. And, you know, we'll take a lot of this underneath stuff. We'll just take what the defense gives us. Rely on our own defense. Great, good win. And then week 3 was just like, nah, whatever. Let's just be an absolute mess everywhere. Offense, defense, special team. Let's just be a mess. Let's just throw it all out the window and let's just put it all in a blender and just like, you know, whatever. And it's like, okay, well now we got a little bit of everything we saw. Now we feel the heat. Now we're firing our wide receiver coaches because, you know, that's going to make a big deal. And then we're moving our offensive coordinator. Usually he's high up. Now we're bringing them down to the field, you know, and like that's going to change things. And it's like, you know what? These things better change. These things better have an impact because if you don't come out on top here, what else is there to say? What else is there to say? Seriously, what else is there to say? If you are a legitimately good team, if you are legitimately competitive, there should be no reason, none, zero, to not be good enough to beat a team that is clearly significantly banged up, missing their two most important offensive pieces, their quarterback and the wide receiver. And it's not like, well, they have like a Christian McCaffrey, a Saquon Barkley, you know, like they have some sort of like workhorse there. Like they don't have that. Debo's as close as you get. This is a different Debo. This is 2025 Debo. This is not prime 49ers Super Bowl Debo. There's a little bit of a difference here, and it's again backup quarterback. I'm not trying to downplay the Commanders. I'm really not, because from the other side of the coin, I can make a video talking about the Commanders and say, hey, listen, the Falcons have been rough. The Falcons have not looked good at all. You should be good. You should be good enough. Marcus Mariota should be good enough to be able to come away with the win here. But when I originally kind of thought like that, I was thinking Terry McLaurin was still there. And I'm also thinking the Falcons, like, they got to dig deeper. They got to have something to prove here. They got to, otherwise, like I said, you're just you just have to fire everyone then, or you just have to accept we're just not good. And if you just accept, well, we're just not good, well, then why are you just not this good? Either way, changes have to be made. The coaching staff has to be thinking about, we can't lose at home to a backup roster right now, a team that's clearly banged up. So the pressure is all on this Atlanta Falcons team, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. And if you're watching this game and you're like, oh my God, the Falcons are going to lose this game, it's just, I don't know, man. Then it should get ugly. It should get ugly. The fans should be absolutely up in arms, just furious. And again, it's not like I'm telling you that I think this game should be straightforward and easy, that the Falcons better win 35-7 here. Like, I'm not saying that, because I believe that the Commanders are so well coached. And if the Commanders end up winning this game, obviously I got to see how the game actually unfolds. I can be like, wow, that was a really big rise to the occasion. Like, that shows you the depth and the culture of this Commanders team, or it just shows you how weak and the lack of depth and culture that this Falcons team has. It'll be interesting either way to see how we get the conclusion. But the easiest conclusion, the most straightforward reaction to this game should be, yeah, the Falcons won. They're actually a pretty good team. They've had a rough go at it in the beginning of the season, but Michael Penix is good. This defense is pretty good. They have enough offensive weapons here. Like, no. And they have a great O-line. And you in command, talking to the Commanders fans like, yeah, you had a backup quarterback. You were missing Terry McLaurin. It's not an easy spot for you to find a way to win in that game. It's unfortunate, but it happened. Like, that should be the most straightforward reaction to a game like this. Will it actually happen? I don't know. I that's why Colin's making the joke about the Falcons, where he's like, I'm staying away from Falcons because that is what should happen. It is what should happen. But will it happen? We'll find out Sunday 1. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. It's whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much.